Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Lesson 3, Unknown Numbers in Addition, Subtraction, Multiplication, and Division. And this is our practice set. You can see that you can find this in your book on page 23. And this is Saxon Course 2. All right. So as you can see, we're going to be solving for unknown numbers, and there's some rules that we're going to use. I highly suggest you write these down to include the problem as well. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to work a whole bunch of problems, and then I'm going to have to erase them and start some more. So let's start with A. A plus 12 is equal to 31. Right now we are adding 12 to some number we don't know, and we're getting 31. So I have to do the opposite operation. I have to kind of work backwards to find out what A is. So the first thing, we've got to do the opposite operation. Second thing, we're trying to get the variable, which in math is normally the letter, by itself. Okay? And then the third thing is balance. Whatever we do to one side of the equals, we have to do to the other. And this will make more sense as we go along, but you'll want to write that down. If you need to pause this, that's fine. So right now I'm adding, so I'm going to subtract 12 from this side. So 12 minus 12 gives me 0, and my A comes down. My equals is also going to come down. Now one of my rules is that whatever I do to one side of the equals, so this is side 1, I have to do to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 12 from here. I get 19. So if you see, I have A equals 19. If I want to check that, I'm going to plug 19 back into here and make sure that it equals 31. 9 plus 2 is 1, carry the 1, 31 equals 31. So I'm good. That's my answer. Okay, well, let me change colors. And if you don't understand it right now, that's okay. If you have a little bit of frustration, that's okay. We're going to do lots and lots of these problems. And make sure that you ask me questions and that you write everything down in your spiral. Okay, so let me do B up here. So I have B minus 24 is equal to 15. So right now, 15. So right now I'm subtracting 24 from some number I don't know. And I have to do the opposite. That's my step number 1. So the opposite is plus 24. So 24 minus 24, I'm going to cross that out. My B comes down. My equals comes down. And now I have to do what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So I have to add 24 to this side of the equals. So 5 plus 4 is 9. 3 plus 1 is, 1 plus 2 is 3. And that is my answer right there. Okay. Let's see if I can fit another one in without erasing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do C right here. So the problem is 15 times C is equal to 180. I know it's times C because there's no addition, subtraction, or multiplication symbol here. So when you have just this number and this letter, that means that they are multiplied. Well, the opposite of multiplication is division. That's right. So I'm going to divide this by 15. 15 divided by 15 gives me 1, right? I bring my equals down, and what I do to one side of the equals, I have to do to the other side. So I'm going to divide 180 by 15. Oh. I'm going to use my calculator. There we go. And I get, I lost my little guy there, 12. So C is equal to 12. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and erase. And we will continue with D. I'm hoping you have all of this in your spiral. Okay. All right, let's pick a different color. All right, so we're on D, and D is R divided by 8 is equal to 12. So we know that some number, we're not sure what number, divided by 8 is going to be equal to 12. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to rewrite this down here so you can see what this looks like. So I'm going to multiply by 8. But I'm multiplying fractions, so I'm going to put it over 1, which is no problem. We're going to leave the 12 over here. So then I have 8r over 8 is equal to 12. I still have to multiply by 8 over here. So these are going to cancel. Let me come up here. I'm running out of room. And I get r equals to 12, but I haven't multiplied here. I multiplied by 8, but I didn't do it over here. So I've got to multiply this by 8. And I get 96. So r is equal to 96. That's kind of a tough one. The division problems, I think, are kind of tough. All right, let's do E. 14E is equal to 42. This is going to look an awful lot like this one. So we have 14 times E, because there's no operation there, is equal to 420. The opposite of times is division. So we're going to divide this side. My 14's cancel. My E comes down. My equals comes down. Divide by 14. 420 divided by 14. Okay. And that is equal to 30. I promise you this will get easier the more that you do it. So if right now it is driving you crazy, it's okay. That is normal. So here I have 26 plus f is equal to 43. So I'm adding 26 to a number and getting 43. So I have to do the opposite of addition. So I'm going to subtract 26 here. My f is going to come down. My equals is going to come down. This goes away, right? I have to, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. It's 17. So f is 17. Okay? I'm going to have to do some more erasing. So if you want to take some time to write while I erase, I'm going to erase B up here and C. I won't erase F. Don't worry about it. We got it. And again, you can always pause these or rewatch these as you need to, okay? All right, so we did F. We're on G. We are moving right along. G is 51 minus G is equal to 20. So currently, this is a difficult one. I'm going to put a little star by it. You could do that too. I am subtracting something from 51 that equals 20. Okay, so what I actually have to do is I have to take 51 minus 20, and I get 31. And that's the number that goes here. So this is a little bit different. We kind of have to come outside of our problem, figure it out, and bring it back in. Let's make sure that that makes sense. So 51 minus 31 equals 20. So that's 0. 5 minus 3 is 2. And that makes sense. So the answer is G is equal to 31. That's a tough one. Make sure you write that one down. We're going to come up with a rule for those subtraction problems here in just a minute. Let me do some more erasing while you write that down. All right, let's do H. We have 364 divided by something is equal to 7. So I know if I divide 364 by something, it's going to be equal to 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, what am I doing? Aha, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to divide this by 7 to find out what H is. So this is another one of those where division and subtraction are weird. Okay, so when you see division or subtraction, you're going to have to think twice. Addition and multiplication are always the same as far as solving for an unknown. So when I do this, 7 goes into 36 5 times, and I get 52. So h is equal to 52. Let's see if I'm right. 364 divided by 52 is equal to 7. 364 divided by 52 is equal to exactly. Okay? That's a tough one too. I'm going to put a little star by that one. Okay, I. All right, 4n is equal to 2 times 12. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to simplify this and multiply that. Oh, this is not, why do I have an equals there? Doesn't matter. We'll put a dot. So I have 4n is equal to 2 times 12 is 24. Now I can solve this like I did before. 4 times n, so I have to do the opposite of times, which is divide. My 4's are going to cancel. My n comes down, my equals comes down, and this is 6. Okay. Let's see if I can fit. Let's see if we can do j. So j is interesting because we have all of these regular numbers, right? And then we have m. So what we're going to do is since we're adding everything, we're going to add all of our numbers up to simplify this a little bit further. So I have 9 plus m plus 12 plus 5 is 17 equals to 30. And then 9 plus 17 is 28. Is that right? Plus 9, 26. That's why Mrs. Rouse uses a calculator. 26 plus m is equal to 30. Now I can solve this just like I did any of my addition problems. I'm going to subtract. Let's take it down here. I'm so sorry. I'm running out of room here. Subtract 26, subtract 26. My m comes down. My equals comes down. This 26 goes away. 30 minus 26 is 4, and that's my answer. So on I and J, you have some extra steps that you have to do, okay, which I'm sure you're thrilled about. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this here so I can solve K. Okay. Write an equation using 2, 6, and the variable x. Explain how to solve the equation and check your answer. So what I would do is I would maybe 6 divided by x is equal to 2. That's not going to work. Oh, I know. 2 times x is equal to 6. Let's do that. Okay, so 2 times x is equal to 6. We divide by 2. The 2 goes away, we get x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then I know that 2 times 3 is equal to 6, so it checks out. Let's see if we have more. We don't. Okay, let me know if you have any questions.